Hello, second grade. Hello, everybody. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Hello, everybody. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Hello, second grade. We are going to start off today with a spooky song. So you might remember this one from last year. Your part is ooh. Can you sing it? Ready? Ooh. So every time I point to you, you will sing that part. Ready? There was an old lady, all skin and bones. Ooh. She lived down by the old graveyard. Ooh. One night she thought she'd take a walk. Ooh. She walked down by the old graveyard. Ooh. She saw some bones a-laying around. Ooh. She went to the closet to get a broom. Ooh. She opened the door and boo! Did I scare you? Probably not. I can never scare second grade. All right, let's try it one more time and sing as much with me as you can. Ready? There was an old lady, all skin and bones. Ooh. She lived down by the old graveyard. Ooh. One night she thought she'd take a walk. Ooh. She walked down by the old graveyard. Ooh. She saw some bones a-laying around. Ooh. She went to the closet to get a broom. Ooh. She opened the door and boo! Did I scare you? Oh, man. All right. We are going to play poison, but I have to go get my poison cards. So give me a sec. All right. I have them. Now I need to figure out the poison pattern. I've got it. Okay. This is going to be poison. I feel like this camera is too hot. How's that? All right. Let's see if you can sing it with me. Ready, sing. So, so, la, la, so, so, me. Okay. Put it in your brain. Ready, sing. So, so, la, la, so, so, me. Okay. When it's in your brain, you can stand up. If you sing the poison one, you have to sit down. All right? Got it in your brain? I'm going to hide it. Hand signs count. 1, 2, ready, sing. So, 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 la, so, so, me. 1, 2, ready, sing. So, so, me, la, so, so, me. Remember, we see this big jump. It's me, la. 1, 2, ready, sing. So, so, la, so, me. 1, 2, ready, sing. So, so, la, la, so, so, me. That was poison. Did you do it? If you did it, sit down. Gonna hide it again. 1, 2, ready, sing. So, me, la, so, me. 1, 2, ready, sing. So, la, so, me. 1, 2, ready, sing. So, so, la, la, so, me. That was it. That was poison. Ready, sing. So, me, la, so, me. Ready, sing. So, la, la, so, me. Poison. Am I tricking you? All right, let's try again. Ready, sing. So, la, la, so, me. Poison. All right, we'll do one more time. All right, I'm ready. This starts with me. Ready, sing. Me, so, la, so. Ready, sing. So, la, so, me. Ready, sing. So, la, so, me. Ready, sing. So, la, so, me. That was it. That was Poison. All right, if you're still standing, give yourself a pat on the back. Good job, Joe. Good job, Wilhelmina. All right, have a seat. All right, my friends, I have a new song for you. And this is I like this song. It's kind of funny. I'm going to share my screen so you can see the words. Give me a second because it always takes me a second to figure this out. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. So now where did I put the song? Here it is. All right. So this is a conversation between an old man and an old woman. So the old man is the blue and the old woman is the pink. So when you hear the old man singing, the blue will be there. And then you hear the old woman singing, it's the pink. I'm going to sing everything 2 times because everything is supposed to be 2 times, but I was too lazy to type it 2 times. Okay, and then there's a couple words we need to talk about. First of all, it says, are you fond of cooking? What does fond mean? Fond means, do you like it? So if I say, are you fond of cooking or fond of sewing? Do you like cooking? Do you like sewing? Down here it says, will you darn my stocking? Darning stockings meant sewing up holes in socks. So my grandma was super old fashioned. She lived with me when I was little. And when she got a hole in her sock, we didn't go buy her new socks. She got out this little thing that she put her sock on and sewed it up. Yep, they darned their socks. And then, oh, you'll like this one. Will you let me court you? Do you know what courting is in old fashioned language? It means going on a date. So I will sing you the song and you can just listen and see if you can hear what's happening in this story, okay? Old woman, are you fond of cooking? Old woman, are you fond of cooking? Speak a little louder, sir, I'm very hard of hearing. Speak a little louder, sir, I'm very hard of hearing. Old woman, are you fond of sewing? Old woman, are you fond of sewing? Speak a little louder, sir, I'm very hard of hearing. Speak a little louder, sir, I'm very hard of hearing. Old woman, will you darn my stocking? Old woman, will you darn my stocking? Speak a little louder, sir, I'm very hard of hearing. Speak a little louder, sir, I'm very hard of hearing. Old woman, will you let me court you? Old woman, will you let me court you? Speak a little louder, sir, I just begin to hear you. Speak a little louder, sir, I just begin to hear you. Old woman, don't you want to marry me? Old woman, don't you want to marry me? Oh my goodness gracious me, I think that now I hear you. Oh my goodness gracious me, I think that now I hear you. All right, so let's talk about this story, what happened in the song. At the beginning, when the old man said, do you like cooking? Do you like sewing? Will you sew my socks? What did she say? She said, I'm very hard of hearing. I can't hear you. And then when he says, do you want to go on a date? She's like, oh, now I'm starting to hear you. And then when he said, will you marry me? All of a sudden she hears him. Was her hearing miraculously fixed? No, this is called selective hearing. There are people who cannot hear and have to wear hearing aids or use sign language to hear. But this old lady, she was not one of them. She had selective hearing. That's like when my daughter Lily is watching YouTube and I would say to her, Lily, it's time to do your homework. And she doesn't hear me. Or if I say, Lily, it's time to go clean your room. She doesn't hear me. But if I say, hey, Lily, do you want to go out for ice cream? All of a sudden she hears me. Was her hearing miraculously fixed? No, she just chose to hear in that moment because it was something she wanted to do. So that is what this song is about, which is kind of funny. Okay, we are going to be actors and actresses. So if you are a boy, you can sing the blue with me and be the old man. And if you are a girl, you can sing the pink with me and be the old woman. Now, do I think that you really want to go on a date or get married? No, I do not think that about you. So you do not need to be silly and go, ooh, because I know that. I know you're only 7, you're only 8. We're just pretending, we're acting. All right, so let's start. I'm going to sing both parts. So boys, you're going to start with me. And remember, we're singing each part 2 times. I'm just lazy. Okay, ready, sing. Old woman, are you fond of cooking? Old woman, are you fond of cooking? Speak a little louder, sir, I'm very hard of hearing. Speak a little louder, sir, I'm very hard of hearing. Old woman, are you fond of sewing? Old woman, are you fond of sewing? Speak a little louder, sir, I'm very hard of hearing. Speak a little louder, sir, I'm very hard of hearing. Old woman, will you darn my stocking? Old woman, will you darn my stocking? Speak a little louder, sir, I'm very hard of hearing. Speak a little louder, sir, I'm very hard of hearing. Old woman, will you let me court you? Old woman, will you let me court you? Speak a little louder, sir, I just begin to hear you. Speak a little louder, sir, I just begin to hear you. Old woman, don't you want to marry me? Old woman, don't you want to marry me? Oh my goodness gracious me, I think that now I hear you. Oh my goodness gracious me, I think that now I hear you. Nice job, friends. Okay, we are going to add some motions to this song. So I want you to do the motions with me. And there is something that is going to be the same with all these motions, even though they're different. And I want you to see if you can figure out what the pattern is, okay? It doesn't have anything to do with the words of the song. That's your clue. But do the motions with me, and let's see if we can figure out the pattern that I'm trying to do. Okay, ready, go. Old woman, are you fond of cooking? Old woman, are you fond of cooking? Speak a little louder, sir, I'm very hard of hearing. Speak a little louder, sir, I'm very hard of hearing. Old woman, are you fond of sewing? Old woman, are you fond of sewing? Speak a little louder, sir, I'm very hard of hearing. Speak a little louder, sir, I'm very hard of hearing. Old woman, will you darn my stocking? Old woman, will you darn my stocking? Speak a little louder, sir, I'm very hard of hearing. Speak a little louder, sir, I'm very hard of hearing. Old woman, will you let me court you? Old woman, will you let me court you? Speak a little louder, sir, I just begin to hear you. Speak a little louder, sir, I just begin to hear you. Old woman, don't you want to marry me? Old woman, don't you want to marry me? Oh my goodness gracious me, I think that now I hear you. Oh my goodness gracious me, I think that now I hear you. Okay, so let's see if you can think of what those motions have in common. The first one was like this. The second one was like this. The third one was like this. Okay, the fourth one was like this. That's a tricky one. And then the last one was the big hint. Did you find the pattern? What does this mean? That means strong. And what is the opposite of strong? That is weak. So we're going to start talking about how music has strong beats and weak beats. All right, I want to stop sharing my screen. If I can figure it out, Mrs. Davidson. Stop presenting. All right, I think it's done. So I am going to, let's do a quick mystery song. This is going to be really easy because we just did this song. So do, day, do. It goes like this. So, la, so, mi, so, la, so, mi. Do you know what song that is? We just did it as a mystery song last week. Let's sing it again. Ready, sing. So, la, so, mi, so, la, so, mi. Do you know it? It's bounce high, bounce low, bounce the boat to Shiloh. Okay, so I'm going to find strong and weak beats in bounce high, bounce low. So let's think of a motion we can do for strong. What's a motion we could do for strong? How about like we're picking up weights? So let's do this for strong. And then weak, we'll pretend that the weights are really heavy, like that, okay? So let's sing it and do our strong and weak beats. Ready, go. Bounce high, bounce low, bounce the boat to Shiloh. All right, now I'm going to think of a picture for strong and a picture for weak. And I'm going to pick really easy things to draw, okay? Because I want to do it fast and I'm lazy. Okay, so strong, I'm going to do a triangle. And then weak, I'm going to do a circle. All right, so your job is to do our motions while we sing, and I will draw in our strong and weak beats. I'm going to use a different color. How about red? Okay, ready? Ready, go. Bounce high, bounce low, bounce the boat to Shiloh. Okay, let's notice a few things. What do you notice about our pattern? It goes triangle, circle, triangle, circles, triangle, circles, triangle, which means strong, weak, strong, weak, strong, weak, strong, weak. There it is. Also, do you notice how many pictures are under a due day? There's only one picture under each due day because a due day, even though it is two sounds, it is only one beat. All right, I'm going to do one more thing before we let this go. I am going to draw lines to divide my patterns into strong and weak, like this. Strong, weak line, strong, weak line, strong, weak line, strong, weak line. That green marker is not good. Can you see my lines? I'm going to do it again with red. Strong, weak line, strong, weak line, strong, weak line, strong, weak line. That is the last day for that green marker. Okay, so we will talk more about strong and weak patterns next week. One more thing to tell you about. This has to do with our composer of the month, Zitkala Shah. Now, here's the bad news. I have looked and looked and looked for us to be able to listen to music for Zikala Shah, and it just does not seem to be out there. I don't know if it's because she's Native American or because she was a woman, but her music was not really recorded, which is really, really sad. And, back in those days, being a woman or being Native American be something that you were discriminated for. So that's very, very sad that I can't find anything. So we're going to use our imaginations and imagine what our music would be like if we were Zikala Shah. So you are going to have this paper. If you are watching on Canvas, you will do this in Kami. And if you're watching in the music room, you'll do this on a real piece of paper. So this is what we are going to do. You're going to think about writing a song about not being listened to, because in Zikala Shah's life, that was something she was frustrated about, is that she felt like when she was trying to tell people something, they weren't listening to her. And I remember from being a kid that was frustrating to me, that adults didn't listen to me sometimes when I was talking. So I want you to think about how that makes you feel when you're not being listened to, and put your mood here. It could be mad, it could be sad, it could be frustrated, it could be, I don't care. So whatever that your mood is when you're not listened to, you could write it right there. And then think about what your music would sound like if you were writing a song about that mood. Would it be fast? Would it be slow? Would it be loud? Would it be soft? You can color in more than one of these, however your song would be. And down here, these are instruments you would use for your song. So you can color in any instruments that you would use in your song about not being listened to. Any instruments you don't want to use, you can just leave blank. You don't have to color them at all. All right, we're going to sing Music Time is Over, and then you can go work on this. So music time isn't really over because you're still going to go work on this, but we're going to say goodbye to each other. Okay? Ready? Music time is over, but everything's okay. We'll be back together on another day. Music time is over, but you don't have to get in line. Thank you for the music. Now I'm feeling fine. Thank you so much. See you next week. Bye.